Welcome to a macro view, where we take an in-depth look at Roll20 macros and break them down in an attempt to make you a better macro maker. Thanks for joining me. My name is Jim. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the Toll the Dead macro. It is a Cleric, Warlock, and Wizard cantrip. Range is 60 feet. It says you point at a creature you can see within range and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic damage. The spell's damage increases by 1 die when you reach 5th. 2d8 or 2d12, 11, 3d8 or 3d12, and 17. So, first thing is that there's scaling involved. So the damage scales based on your level, and that is covered in video 14. An in-depth look at how scaling works. So we're not going to go into detail about that. This is a tricky cantrip in that there's an easy way to do it, and then there's a hard way to do it, and I'm going to show you both. So we are going to look at first the easy way. So let's build the easy way. So let's start with the default template as normal. We're going to name it. Name equals Toll the Dead. And then the first thing we're going to put in is the range, so the DM knows it's 60 feet. And then we're going to need a spell save, and here it's a wisdom save, so we're going to need Aeru as our character who has the spell. Actually, two people do, but whoops. So we're going to go get and set the DC. Going to make a stat call to Aeru's Aeru pipe spell underscore save underscore DC. And if you don't know where to find that, that is, if you're on the core, you go to spells, and it's the spell save DC right here. And then we're going to, it is going to be a wisdom save, and then we are going to end the row. So let's do that first. Make sure that that's working right. Let's put that down. So range 60 feet, DC 17. I got an extra. I don't need 2 right there. Let's run that again. Okay. So now the DM knows it range is 60 feet, and it's a DC 17 wisdom save for his baddies. So next we're going to do, so originally I'd wanted to do this macro where you, because if they're hurt, you get to roll a 1d12. If they're healthy, you roll a 1d8. So I was going to ask the user if they're healthy or hurt. And so you do a query like we did in several of the earlier videos, which worked great. And then the problem is that when you added the scaling in, it broke because there was nested syntax. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So then I said, well, we'll just do it the easy way then. I don't have to worry about that, because it took me, I don't know, probably 40 tries to get the right escape characters, but I'll explain that in a second. So the easy way is just to show both damages. And so in the first row, we just go necrotic damage healthy. And that's going to be scaling because it scales with your level. And if they are healthy, it's going to be a 1/8. So we're going to go 4 braces, and then we're going to go 1. because they're starting with 1 die. And then 5, 11, 17, brace, less than, and then we're going to go get Aeru's level. Stat call to his sheet, Aeru, pipe level. And then we're going to end that, and it's going to be a die 8. We're going to end that, and we're going to close the row. So let's run that and see what we get. Run that. Necrotic Damage Healthy. So you can see it rolled a 2 die 8, did 9 damage. Now the easy way to do it is just to do the same exact thing. Copy that whole row down. Change this to hurt. And it's going to be a 1 die 12. Paste that. And then you have the damage if he's healthy and the damage if he's hurt. Now that's the easy way to do it. So you can do it that way if you want. I'll put it in the description just like everything else. And you can use that method if you want. But what I wanted to do was something different. I wanted to ask the user whether he's healthy or hurt, and then it only rolls 1 damage appropriately. So this is the syntax that I was originally going to do. So if you're going to go after the wisdom save, right, then we're going to do our question. So our question mark, brace, and we're going to say health status and pipe. And then he's either going to be healthy, comma, pipe, or hurt, comma. And we're going to end the question. And so now, and then we end the row. So now what happens is I have to scale the damage. And the damage goes right here and right here. So I would put in necrotic damage. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to copy this. This is for healthy. Oops, healthy right here. Sorry about that. There. And then hurt would be this one. Because you got to roll more die. And that goes right here. So I thought I was all proud of this, and when you run this, that's what you get. It's like, whoa, wait a second. That's not what I want. So what happens is, because there is nested syntax here, so we've got the query that's using pipes and commas and the damage using commas and their braces and everything, it breaks. And so what happens is we have to use what is called escape characters to replace some of the characters that help break it. So escape characters are always, they look like this. Like a comma is ampersand pound 44 semicolon. So that's a comma. So if you want to replace a comma, you have to put that. So I had to replace the scaling stuff. So I had to replace this comma right here. And this took way too many tries. This comma and this brace, which is not 44, it's 125. So then we're going to do the same thing on this one. 125, and then the 2 commas. All right, that's clear as mud, huh? Now, hopefully I did it all right. So let's try and see what happens. All right, health status healthy. So I'm going to submit. And I forgot to put the healthy necrotic damage and necrotic. All right. Hopefully this works. All right, so if they're healthy, you're going to roll a 1.8. Well, in this case, Aeru is level 9, so he should get 2.8 if he's healthy. So submit. And he did get 2.8. So now if he's hurt, it should roll 1.12s. And it did die 2.12s. A 1 and a 2. Woohoo! Great roll. Try that again. See if you can roll a little better. There you go. 8 and 8. So I like this method better, even though it was a pain in the arse to find all the correct escape characters. Because when this happens and it breaks, you don't know exactly which characters have to be escaped. So it's just trial and error, and you try it here, try it there, try it here, try it there, and eventually you'll come up with you have enough tries. So I am going to put this in the description, and I'm going to put this in the description, and you can use whichever one you prefer, the easy method or the hard method. And some people say just do both and we'll take the one we want. The other ones would rather be asked and do it that way. So hopefully this is, like the last 5 or 6, the scaling damage, but it's a little bit more tricky. So hopefully that helps. Again, in the description, YouTube will not allow us to put a less than sign. So I always put in there less than sign, and I make a note that says to change that to an actual less than sign. So that's why you'll see that in the description. So hopefully, maybe you learned a little bit, and I'll give you a choice of which one you want to use, or you don't have to use any if you don't want. So appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and we will see you on the next one.